Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Itinamine Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Itinamine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pasyadhya Tishakarine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pasyadhya Tishakarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Bhaktarinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Bhaktarinda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Jai Shri Nitai Jai Shri Sundar Ji Ki Jai Giriraj Govardhan ki jai. Ki bachayo Jayo Gaurachande Para-dukha-dukhī Jayo Jayo Gaurachande Para-dukha-dukhī Jaga Manaloba Chanavitata Vani Jaga Manaloba Rakhi Nenikai Chan Vame Gadadhara Rakhi Nenikai Chan Vame Gadadhara Nikate Advaita Srini Asa Datadara Nikate Advaita Srini Asa Chatra Daravashi Yachigaura Sham Radna Simhasani Vashi Yachigaura Sham Radna Simhasani Arati Kaurena Brahma Adi Devakane Arati Kaurena Brahma Adi Devakane Nara Hariyadi Kauri Shamara Nulaya Nara Hari Atikori Shamara Nulaya Sanchaya Mukunda Vasu Gosha Atikaya Sanchaya Mukunda Vasu Gosha Atikaya Shanka Vachigan Vache Vache Karatala Shanka Vache Ganta Vache Vache Karatala Madhura Midanga Vache Varama Rasala Madhura Midanga Vache Varama Rasala Shanka Vache Kanta Vache Madhura Madhura Vache Shanka Vache Kanta Vache Madhura 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 Vache Shanka Vache Kanta Vache Madhura 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 Vache Shanka Vache Kanta Vache Madhura 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 Vache Madhura Madhura Vache Madhura 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 Vache Haribo 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 Gaura Haribo Nitai Gaura Haribo 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 Gaura Haribo Bahu Kodi Chandra Chini Vajana Ujvala Bahu Kodi Chandra Chini Vajana Ujvala Kalade Shevana Mala Kore Jalamala Kalade Shevana Mala Kore Jalamala Shiva Shuka Narada Reme Katagata Shiva Shuka Narada Preme Katagata Makati Vinota Deke Korara Sampada Makati Vinota Korara Sampada Kiba Chayo Chayo Gora Chande Para-dukha-dukhā Chayo Chayo Gora Chande Para-dukha-dukhā Chana Vitadhavani Jaga Manaloba Chana Vitadhavani Jaga Manaloba Gauranghe Aroti Shopa Jaga Channamalalopa Gaurange Arotik Shopa Jaga Channamalalopa Gaurange Arotik Shopa Jaga Channamalalopa Gaurange Arotik Shopa Jaga Channamalalopa Jaga Channamalalopa Jaga Channamalalopa Haribol 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 Nityai Gaura Haribol Nityai Gaura Haribol Haribol Haribo, Gaura Haribo, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi, Gaura Bhaktarinda, Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktarinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Shri Shri Nitai Jati Sundar, Shri Gitai Giriraj Govardhana Ki Jai, Gaura Premanande. Hare Krishna, Gaura Gaura Arti Ki Jai. Hare Krishna. First of all, welcome Amrita Rati Mataji, Prakash and Vijay. Amrita Rati Mataji, want to sing the Singha prayers?
Okay, Prabhu. Namaste Narsimhaya. Namaste Narsimhaya. Prahlad Laddaine. Prahlad Laddaine. Hiranyakashipurvakshah. Hiranyakashipurvakshah. Chillatankanakalaye. Chillatankanakalaye. To Nishinga Parato Nishinga. To Nishinga Parato Nishinga. Yato yato yami tato nishinga. Yato yato yami tato nishinga. Pari nishinga hridaye nishinga. Pari nishinga hridaye nishinga. Narashingamadin sharanam prapade. Narashingamadin sharanam prapade. Tav kar kamalavare nakham adbhuta shringam lalita hiranyakashipu tanu bringa keshavadrita hari rupa. Jai Jagadish Hare Swami. Jai Jagadish Hare Swami. Jai Jagadish Hare. Tav kar kamalavare nakham adbhuta shringam Lalita Hiranyakashipu Tanu Bringa Keshavadrita Hari Rupa Jai Jagadish Hare Swami Jai Jagadish Hare Swami Jai Jagadish Hare Jaya Narsingha Dev Jaya Narsingha Dev Narsingha Dev Jaya Narsingha Dev Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Gurudev 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev Nitai Gaura Haribo 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 Nitai Gaura Haribo.
Hey, thank you very much, Amrita Rani Mataji. Jai, Nishingadev Bhagavan ki Jai, Prahlad Maharaj ki Jai, Gaura Premanandi, Hari Hari Bol.
Can we, sorry, just 1 minute, can we dedicate those prayers to Jayapataka Swami Maharaj? He's again serious with an infection and in hospital again.
Okay,
They
sis.
requested prayers, and today is my mother's 10th anniversary. So
So these Nisingadev Pranam prayers are dedicated to, and prayers for Chaipataka Maharaj, Gurudev, who is in hospital or not? He's in hospital with infection. And so please keep Maharaj in your prayers. Maharaj has been very merciful to us here in Leicester. And we have a really, and to me personally also, have a very, very wonderful relationship. Unfortunately, we haven't seen him for ages.
he was going to come this week to see us.
But distance is nothing. Within a split second, we can travel in our meditation millions quicker than the speed of light. The mind is quicker than the speed of light. So, and also prayers, 10th
It's a 10th anniversary.
10th anniversary of Vaishna's mother.
Yes.
And also pray for Vaishna's Mataji's brother, who just a few days passed away. So lots of prayers. Yes? Yes, we'll do. We'll do our bit. No doubt. Because you're very dear to us, so anyone connected to you will be also dear to us. That's natural, isn't it?
Yes, thank you.
Natural. Just devotees are very dear to Krishna. So, if we profess to love Krishna even a little bit, then naturally, also devotees connected to Krishna are also dear to us. Naturally. Okay. Hare Krishna. Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Jaya Giridwaradhari Jaya Giridwaradhari Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Jaya Giridwaradhari Jaya Giridwaradhari Jaya Yashodanandana Jaya Bhajananandana Jaya Yashodanandana Jaya Bhajananandana Jaya Yamunatira Vanachari Jaya Kincha Bihari Jaya Yamunatira Vanachari Jaya Kuncha Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kuncha Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kuncha Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Brihad Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Brihad Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Shri Radha Madhava Ki Jai, Shri Radha Govinda Ji Ki Jai, Shri Nitai Sachi Sundara Ki Jai, Giriraj Govardhana Ki Jai, Jai Shri Krishna Balarama Ki Jai. Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Nice to see everyone. Hare Krishna. So. First of all, Amrita Radhamadaji, have you started listening to Brihad Bhagavatamrita? Don't tell me no.
No, Prabhu.
Oh no, I made all
Yes,
this endeavor of sending you all the files and finding them, and you have been neglectful.
I'm so sorry. I will start from today.
Yes, start, and I'll ask you again this question on Wednesday.
Sure, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
You can start with the beginning of Narada's quest. You can also, the last file I sent you, with directly when Gopakumar is entering Goloka. If we are interested in wanting to go to Goloka, we should listen to that. How is it? How to get to Goloka? How is it like in Goloka? What's happening there? Okay, what about you, Vijay?
Yeah, sorry, I'm the same. I've got the files. I'm going to listen to them maybe tomorrow.
Okay, your homework is for up till Wednesday to start wherever you start, but start listening. You will this afternoon, afternoon and morning. I acquired some version. I finally found it on the Amazon Kindle store of Gopi Paranadhana Prabhu's translation for Kindle, which you can read on the mobile. I had to purchase it. All 3 volumes, part 1, part 2, and the second part of part 2 as well. It is beautiful. And a commentary of Srila Sanatana Goswami and Gopi Paranadhana Prabhu as well. It's easily readable. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. But the audiobook is even most beautiful because it's just a continuous storytelling. So, yes. What about you, Vashana Mataji?
I was chanting most of the time.
No.
I wasn't able to concentrate.
Start listening to it.
But I have heard it all once because you sent it me a few years back.
Oh yes, years ago. How much have you progressed? By now you should have listened to all of it.
I had it once, but now I have to restart. But at the moment, past week was easier just to chant all the time. I was doing double rounds.
All the time is nice. Continuous chanting. That's the key
I was
to
finding
spiritual
that
progress.
helpful.
Keep
That's
it up.
a big habit.
Yes, thank you. So, which is the most important scripture? Amrita Radhe Mataji. What would you say?
Chaitanya Charitamrit.
Which one?
Chaitanya Charitamrit.
Well, generally we say Srimad Bhagavatam. Everything is there in Srimad Bhagavatam. But Brihad means big. Brihad Bhagavatam, that's the essence of Srimad Bhagavatam. If we have no time, and I mean, if we don't have time of listening to Brihad Bhagavatamrita, which is just some hours, quite a few hours to listen to, but reading all the Srimad Bhagavatam from first canto till 10th canto, verses with purport, it takes a little bit longer. So Sanatana Goswami, he has condensed the entire Bhagavatam into his Brihad Bhagavatamrita. That's a must. If Srila Prabhupada would have stayed with us longer here, surely he would have translated with Bhaktivedanta purpose the Brihad Bhagavatamrita. Surely. But there was not enough time. But we have it. We have it in book form, we have it in audio book form, so please do take advantage of it. Prakasha, I need to send it to you as well, and Jayanti Bai, I will do that. And then start listening. Okay, let's go. Carry on where we left off on Wednesday. Bhagavad Gita chapter 6, Dhyana Yoga, text 11 and 12. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So you listen carefully, because you will recite, everyone will have a turn of reciting these two Sanskrit slokas. We'll take it word for word. Sujau Deshe Pratishtabhya. Sujau Deshe Pratishtabhya. Stiram Asanam Atmana. Stiram Asana Atmana. Nati Uchritam. Nati Nicham. Natyuchritam Nati Nicham. Chailachina. Chailachina. Kusottaram. Chailachina Kushottaram. Tadreikagram. Manaha Kritva. Tadreikagram Manaha Kritva. Yata Chitendriya Kriya Uphavishyasane Yunchyad. Uphavishyasane Yunchyad. Yogam Atma Vishuddhaye. Suchau Deshe Pratishtabhya. Stiram Asanam Atmana. Nadyuchritam Nati Nicham. Chailachina kushotaram tadraikagrammana kritva yata chitendriya kriya upavishyasane yunchyat yogam atma vishuddhaye. Vaishnav Mataji. Suchodeshe pratishtapya Sthiram asanam atmana. Vaishnav, don't read nati uchitam. Read it like this. How does it sound now? Whole word. Yes, that it should be like that. Carry on.
Tatraikagrammana kritva yata chitendriya kriya upavisyasane yunjyat yogam atma vishuddhaye.
Thank you. But just by hearing, Amrita Radhe Mataji, Sanskrit.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Amrita Radhe has gone to take care of tejas just now.
Okay, so you are the better half. Okay. Sanskrit.
Suchodeshe pratisthapya sthiram ashanam atmana nati uchritam nati nicham chailajina kushottaram tatraikagram manah kritva yatah chindriya kriyah upavishya shane yunjyad yogamatma vishuddhai.
Thank you. Can you read the third line again?
Upavishya shane
The third line, the third line from first.
Natyuchritam nati nicham.
Okay. And can you read it again now?
Nati uchritam nati nicham.
Yes. You know what I mean, right?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes. Okay. Vijay.
Read the whole of it. Yep.
Sanskrit.
Okay. Suchodeshe pratishyapya sthiram ashanam atmanaha natya ucharitam.
What? Read again.
Natya ucharitam.
Natya.
Natya
There's no
ucharit.
A. There's no A.
Natya uch.
Nat uchritam.
Oh, not uchritam. Not utriyam. Nati nikam. Chaila ajnina kushrottaram tatra ki kadam manha kritva yata chit indriya kritaha.
Kriya.
Kriya, okay. Kriya upavishyasane yunjiyat yogam atma vishuddhaye.
Vishuddhaye. Thank you. Prakash. Sanskrit.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. जो देश प्रतिष्ठाया स्थिरम आसनम आत्मनम न अति उच्चितम न अति नीचम शैल अग्नि कुश उत्तरम तत्र एकमना कृत्वा यथा चित्तम इंद्रियाणा क्रिया उपविश्य आसने युधिष्ठामा योगम आत्मना विशुद्धये.
Translation. To practice yoga, one should go to a secluded place and should lay kusha on the ground and cover it with a deer skin and a soft cloth. The seat should be neither too high nor too low and should be situated in a sacred place. The yogi should then sit on it very firmly and practice yoga to purify the heart by controlling his mind, senses and activities and fixing the mind on one point. Ritu and Prabhu, can you read us Srila Prabhupada's nectarian purport?
Sacred place refers to the places of pilgrimage. In India, the yogis, the transcendentalists, or the devotees all leave home and reside in sacred places such as Prayag, Mathura, Vrindavan, Rishikesh, Haridwar, and in solitude practice yoga, where the sacred rivers like Yamuna and Ganga flow. But often this is not possible, especially for the Westerners. The so-called yoga societies in big cities may be successful in earning material benefit, but they are not at all suitable for the actual practice of yoga. One who is not self-controlled and whose mind is not undisturbed cannot practice meditation. Therefore, in the Brihad Naradiya Puran, it is said that in Kali Yuga, the present Yuga or age, when people in general are short-lived, slow in spiritual realization, and always disturbed by various anxieties, the best means of spiritual realization is chanting the holy name of the Lord. Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Iva Kevalam, Kalu Nasteva, 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 Bhaktiranyata, Chaitanya Chaitanya Adi Lila, 1721. In this age of quarrel and hypocrisy, the only means of deliverance is chanting the holy name of the Lord. There is no other way, there is no other way, there is no other way.
Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Amakinati Mirandasya Kananchana Shalakaya Jakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manopishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamayam Dadati Svabadandikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yudapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Sha Shri Rupam Zakrachatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sachivam Satvaitam Sabatutam Parichana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shivishakan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagadpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Suttadevi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarupyascha Kripa Sindhupya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasati Gaura Bhaktarinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. This translation again. To practice yoga, one should go to a secluded place and should lay kusha grass on the ground and then cover it with a deerskin and a soft cloth. The seat should be neither too high nor too low and should be situated in a sacred place. The yogi should then sit on it very firmly and practice yoga to purify the heart by controlling his mind, senses and activities and fixing the mind on one point. Hare Krishna. So, yoga practice. Not that easy. There are many people, and I've spoken to many people, I'm practicing yoga and meditation. If you want to yoga practice, that is an instruction. Leave your family, go to a sacred place, in the forest, in the jungle, kusha grass, deerskin, soft cloth, not too high, not too low, a sacred place, and firmly sit and firmly practice yoga to purify the heart. So this yoga practice is meant to purify the heart. by controlling the mind and senses and activities, fixing the mind on one point. So that's the important bit here. To practice this meditative yoga to purify the heart. But Lord Chaitanya has given us a very wonderful process of purifying the heart. We don't need to go to the Himalayas and meditate, or in the jungles, leaving everything behind and completely shut off society, friendship and love, and sit in an asana on a deer skin. We don't need to do that. That's not practical. How many people can do that?
Can't even sit.
You can even sit. I cannot even sit cross-legged in an asana either. Okay, sitting in a jungle on a chair. Not really. Not really. But the important point is to purify. The heart needs to be purified. Because there are so many samskaras from many, many previous lives in the chitta, the consciousness, which has accumulated, and that needs to be purified. Otherwise our advancement will be very slow, if at all. So the process in Krishna consciousness for purification, as Srila Prabhupada so nicely pointed out, and we wouldn't have expected anything else. Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Namaiva Eva Kevalam, Kala Nasteva, 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 Gatir Anyadaha. Sacrifice we have to do. But that sacrifice, that yogic sacrifice, also sacrifice, a yajna, that is very difficult in this age. There are some who can do that, very, very few. But Lord Chaitanya, he gave us a process for the mass of people, because we need the mass of people become Krishna conscious very urgently. The world is in a bad shape. If people become Krishna conscious, it's not only good for them, but also good for others. Particularly, becoming Krishna conscious means also giving Krishna consciousness to others. Call it preaching, call it spreading, call it sharing, whichever term we use. We have to give that Krishna consciousness to others. Why? Because devotees are so compassionate. So going through all these troubles in life to try to propagate Krishna consciousness, giving it to others in whichever form. One may be on the street and distributing books. One may distribute books from door to door. One may distribute books amongst one's family members and acquaintances and friends. One may just distribute prasadam, giving prasadam to others. There are millions of ways of sharing, preaching Krishna consciousness. So then the purification in the heart takes place. The whole process of chanting Hare Krishna and being merciful to others, that will purify the heart. I'm just looking for the Sanskrit of Ritu and Prabhu help me. The devotees do not care about their own suffering, but about the suffering of others. What's that Sanskrit term?
Para-dukha-dukhī.
Para-dukha-dukhī. Oh, thank you. Wow, that was excellent. Keep that in mind.
I told you that first.
Para-dukha-dukhī. To not being very much concerned and lamenting, oh, I'm in such a bad situation, this happened to me, and my health, and this, and my family, and my friends, and I've been offended, and all this. We're not too much concerned. It may affect you in some ways, but we are not really focusing on that. But we are very much concerned about others in a bad situation, about others suffering. In so many ways, everybody is suffering. So we are concerned about that. We want to give them relief. And what's the relief? Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Namaiva Eva Kevalam, Kala Nasteva, 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 Gati Anyataha. If something is repeated 3 times, Kala nasteva, nasteva, nasteva. Then it means it must be done. Important. To say something one time, that's one thing. But if someone says something to us 3 times, then that's very important. It must be done. So, the yoga practice is meant to controlling the mind, senses and activities. It's a preliminary process. It's just like a naughty child. Preliminary process. Okay, stop this nonsense. Sit down in the corner. And so the yoga practice is basically sit down. Control your mind and senses. We heard in previous verses how to control the senses. Stare on the tip of your nose with half-closed eyes, doing some hatha yoga breathing, and just get all the distractions out of the way. No TV, no mobile phone and ringing and message in between. Just focus completely. And half-closed eyes, yes. Closed eyes, we're falling asleep. Open eyes, we're a bit distracted. So half in between, half-closed eyes. So we can actually meditate. And in a very previous verse, Lord Krishna is telling us, if one controls the mind, the super soul is already reached. We want to reach Krishna so badly. Through so many different processes, we're trying to reach Krishna as a supreme absolute truth. And it's so the formula is so easy. Control the mind. Of course, controlling the mind, we could talk for many hours. That's not that easy. There's much involved, but that's what we have to do, control the mind. And then we're reaching Krishna, because Krishna is in the heart. Our mind is talking constantly, and Krishna in the heart is talking. But we can't hear Krishna, because the mind is not just talking, he's shouting. Do this, that would be nice. What about this? What about that? So many different desires coming to us. And if the mind hasn't been disciplined from the very start, by chanting Hare Krishna, we discipline the mind. Okay, my dear mind, you have been talking all day long, so much rubbish. Now it's chanting time, at least for 2 hours, or more if possible. My dear mind, you just shut up. Now it's Krishna's name, and nothing else. And then we do that once, twice, every day. Then the mind eventually, we get used to it. Then okay, it's chanting time. I better shut up. That's the mind. It can be trained, like a dog. The dog does something naughty. Stern voice, don't do that again. Oh. And if he does something good, you give him some reward. People walking their dogs here in the parks, they always have some little bits, which they give, I don't know what it is, some dog food or...
Dog biscuits. Good boy.
Yeah.
Good boy.
Yeah. So they're rewarding the dog, always giving something nice, tasty, because the tongue of a dog is almost uncontrollable. Uncontrollable. So if our tongue is also uncontrollable, we are not better than a dog. If you tell a dog, here's a bone, but do some austerity, don't touch it for the next 2 hours. Some dog can be trained like that, but it's very rare. That will be very difficult for a dog. So disciplining the mind. Tell the mind, no, like we mentioned the other day, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he used to say, in the morning, first thing when you get up, beat the mind 100 times with your slipper. Figuratively, 100 times with a slipper, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. And in the evening, 100 times with a broomstick. So that just shows we need to discipline the mind. Somehow, there are processes. So this yoga, postures and fixing the mind, half-closed eyes, controlling the mind, the senses and activities, because Another example, a small child we cannot control is running here and then everywhere. Or in class, in Bhagavatam class, the child is so disturbing. Give the child a coloring book, sitting in the corner, and the child has different activity and will be very quiet. No problem. So, the yogi, as here described, okay, you have an activity, therefore Lord Krishna is saying, purify the heart by controlling the mind, senses and activities. Controlling the activities. How? Well, sitting in a yoga asana. Activities are controlled. By half closing the eyes, the senses are controlled. And then the mind will also be controlled, fixing the mind on the super soul. Fixing the mind on one point. What's that point? Paramatma, super soul in the heart. That's a yogic process. So, reading this description, we shouldn't think, oh, Krishna consciousness is so hard, I'd rather do yoga. Rather do yoga than do this yoga, the proper yoga. Everything else is just a farce. It's just a waste of time. It's just gymnastics. Okay, gymnastics is good, no problem. You can do gymnastics, but don't call it yoga. It's not yoga. Or call it yoga gymnastics, maybe, I don't know. So, we have that beautiful, beautiful process of Krishna consciousness and devotional service, and engaging any and everything possible beyond the four principles. Engaging all our activities in Krishna's service 24 hours a day. Oh, like Vaishana Mataji has just said a few minutes ago, she spent the last week just chanting, lots of chanting, all day long chanting. Yes, that's a very good practice to control the mind. That will bring us to a higher levels of Krishna consciousness. Bhajana Kriya, engaged in devotional service, wonderful. Anartha Nivritti, of clearing out all the bad samskaras in the heart, clearing the chitta from many, many previous lifetimes. And Krishna says, Sarva Dharmam Parityaja, I will clear up your karma, just surrender unto me. And surrender unto Krishna means, Krishna didn't spell it, well, it did actually, in Bhagavad Gita. What Krishna says, surrender unto me. So how to surrender? How?
Think of him.
Yes, that's what he said, just one verse before. Manmana bhava mat bhakto mat yachimam namaskuru. Always think of me, become my devotee, worship me, offer your obeisances to me. Always think of me. That's the first item in that list of, so that means it's the most important item. Always thinking of Krishna. So how to think always of Krishna? That's the next question. Krishna doesn't say in Bhagavad Gita anywhere, how to think of me? Ritu and Prabhu, how to think of Krishna? What's the best way of thinking of Krishna?
Constant chanting.
Yes, that's the best way of all of the different ways of thinking of Krishna. Just have his name always on our lips, wherever we go. Like a mother, and I'm sure you can relate to this, Radharani Mataji, you're always thinking of little Tejas. Is he okay? Does he need anything? So in the same way, we need to think of Krishna always. And the best way is just to repeat his name. That forces the mind to, and it's not even a material sound vibration, it's an entirely spiritual sound vibration imported from the spiritual world. So that is the best of processes. We don't need to undergo this yoga practice. And that in Srila Prabhupada's purport, that he is pointing out that very easy way of practicing Krishna consciousness in this age of Kali Yuga. That's the prominent, easiest way. Everything else is just. Then we have, of course, some are attached to the impersonal Brahman, which is partial Krishna consciousness. Nobody is saying meditating on the impersonal Brahman is not Krishna conscious. No, it's partial. It's not full Krishna conscious, because the Brahman aspect is only a part of the full personality of Godhead. Or the Paramatma aspect, yogic aspect, we're speaking just about yoga. That's a partial Krishna consciousness. But the full Krishna consciousness is Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And we have so many wonderful books like the Brihad Bhagavatamrita, where we hear pastimes. If we want to further progress in our Krishna consciousness, what's the proof? What's the symptom, we could say? What's the symptom we observing in our heart that we are really progressing in Krishna consciousness? Amrita Radharani, what's the symptom?
That you are increasingly desiring to serve Krishna and you're feeling happy by serving Krishna.
Yes, what else? What's the symptom?
You can't stop
Huh?
doing devotional service.
Here.
When you start crying, yearning, and then sometimes tears fall from your eyes because you want to so much see Krishna or worship.
Yes, the tears fall in a very, very advanced stage. Tears can also be on a sentimental platform. So, I mean, who is to judge? But the symptom of we are advancing is we, like you said, we are so eager to hear. We are so eager to hear about Krishna. So eager. And if we start listening, reading to particular Krishna's pastimes, particularly, Srila Prabhupada always says that, Krishna's pastimes, name, form, quality, pastimes. So pastimes, the lila, pastimes, there are many leelas. The Krishna book is full of leelas. Goswami literature is full of leelas. Gop Kumar, Brihad Bhagavatamrita is full of leela. Many others are full of leela. So if we find we are very much attracted to hearing about Krishna's leelas, about Krishna's activities, then we should know, yes, we are on the right path. There is a word called lobha. What's lobha? Amrita Radhi, what's lobha?
Greed.
Greed, spiritual greed. Greed in the material sense is very bad. We are greedy after something. But spiritual greed, lobha, is spiritual greed. We cannot make, actually, Srila Prabhupada says, we cannot make spiritual progress without that lobha. That pulls us forward from that long anartha nivritti clearing stage in the heart. We'll have to eventually come to a steadiness of nishta and attachment to asakti. And still that anartha nivritti is still going on even up till bhava. And I recently read, and I was surprised, even up to the lower stages of prema, we can still occasionally, some material desires are still there. Because prema is not just, okay, that's it, Krishna prema, light switch on, the light is on. No. Within Krishna prema there are also sub-stages, as we would expect. So, at one point we will really develop that spiritual greed, and that's a good sign. If we have that spiritual greed, we can never hear enough about Krishna's activities. There are many activities, not only Krishna's activities in Bhagavad Gita, there are certainly Krishna's activites. The whole Bhagavad Gita is about Krishna's activities. But we're speaking about Krishna's activities at home. What's his home? What Krishna's home? Vaishnav.
I don't understand what you said.
What is Krishna's home and what is Krishna's office?
Ah, that's Vishnu's office.
Huh?
Vishnu's office.
Yes, it's also Krishna.
Vishnu in the office.
What's that?
Golaka, Vrindavan.
No, Vishnu's office is not Goloka. Vaikuntha.
Vaikuntha, yes.
Yes, the spiritual world. Any of the Vaikuntha plants. That's Krishna's office. Formal. Huh? The father in the office is all formal. His secretary and his underlings and all of that. But Krishna's home, private home, that is Goloka. So that creed we should hear if we want to go to. If we want to go to Vaikuntha, then that's a different story. But the highest planet in the spiritual sky is Goloka. We're going up again, Gop Kumar. He had already visited the Bauma Vrindavan, the earthly Vrindavan. He has been there, like most of us have been to Vrindavan. Of course, to see Vrindavan, the real Vrindavan in Vrindavan, that's a different question. Sometimes we may only see the rickshaws and the cars and the noise and the pollution, and that's not the real Vrindavan. That's just a curtain. That's hiding the real Vrindavan. But sometimes we may enter for a short time, we may enter into the real Vrindavan, behind the curtain of all the noise and cars and all of that. And the rickshawalas calling out. So Gop Kumar has been in the real Vrindavan. And then suddenly, by the power of his Gopal mantra, he was elevated to the Aprakrita Vrindavan. The earthly Vrindavan is called Prakrita Vrindavan. And the spiritual sky is a Vrindavan. Topmost planet says Aprakrita Vrindavan. So once he has been elevated to that planet, he wasn't sure where he was. It's also described in one moment he was there. How he got there, he was traveling at a very, very high altitude and with so much speed he couldn't comprehend. And then he was outside, on the outside of Vrindavan, Goloka Vrindavan. And it just looked like that Vrindavan, that Bauma Vrindavan near Delhi, where he has been. It just looked like that. So he was thinking, am I back in that Bauma Vrindavan? Oh, and then with some deliberation he could understand, no, I'm actually in the spiritual world in Goloka. I'm not in Gokula, I'm in Goloka. So then, that's the last link I sent you when Gop Kumar is meeting Madan Gopal. If you're attracted to that, read that or listen to that. Meeting Madan Gopal. There's a beautiful, beautiful sequence of verses or story where he enters that top realm of Gokula. So if we find, once we're hearing or reading, we can't stop. We're feeling like an urge in us. And even if we put the book or the audio book down, and we're feeling an urge to hear more and more and more and more. There are so many literatures we hear about Sakya pastimes, Madhurya pastimes. There are so many literatures. If you feel an urge and greed, that's a good sign. That's a sign we are actually moving forward. That's a new level of our Krishna consciousness. An entirely new level. We have never experienced that before. And then we come into the realm of Raga Bhakti. which is based on meditating within us on all the different pastimes in Goloka. And more. There is more. No need of speaking about that. Because if we are not on that, we don't have developed that lobha, that spiritual greed, there is no much point of artificially we cannot reach that. And that raga bhakti is all based on that lobha. If that lobha is not there, then raga bhakti is pointless. So, this beautiful process of chanting Hare Krishna, that is superseding all that yoga process and activities by far. And Srila Prabhupada, he concedes that is not possible for Westerners. And in Kali Yuga, the present age, people are short-lived, slow in spiritual realization. That's another thing. Even those who trying to tread on the spiritual path, they are very slow in spiritual realization. But time is not slow, time is passing quickly. So if we are slow in our progress in Krishna consciousness, all instructions are there. We just have to take advantage of. All association is there. And if we eager and greedy to progress in our Krishna consciousness, then Krishna will send the right association. And the enthusiasm will be there and will make rapid spiritual progress. So life is very short, 100 years, not even, 80 years. People passing away with 50, 60, 70, 80. And in the last 20 years of one's life, one is so invalid, or has dementia, or so many bodily pains and troubles, that is very difficult to practice Krishna consciousness. Very difficult. Of course, if a devotee is trained throughout his life in Krishna consciousness and chant Hare Krishna, and even in his old age, even if there's dementia, even if there are bodily inconveniences, he will still remember that one thing of Hare Krishna, Hare. He doesn't need to do anything else. He can sit in the wheelchair or lie in bed. All what he needs to do is Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna. There is a verse where Lord Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, he reminds us, and maybe Amrita Radhe Mataji, you know which verse exactly with Sanskrit that is. Whatever we have to think of Krishna at the time of death. You know that verse, Amrita Radhe Mataji? Can you pinpoint that verse?
And Anta Kalevaram. No, Prabhu, sorry.
It doesn't matter.
And
It's okay. It's okay. But you know which that is Krishna's instruction. Whoever thinks of Krishna at the time of death. There's a beautiful story. I think we told it recently. Don't remember who was there, who heard it and who not. There is a story of one Mataji. She was about to leave her body. And she was so confused. Because at the verge of death, we are very confused. That's something, we are not prepared for that. Except we have really made much advancement in Krishna consciousness. And even then it might be difficult. So, she was confused. And all what she could remember is, I have to remember something. I'm about to leave my body, I have to remember something. But what she had to remember, she did not remember. Amazing. All our lives we are trained. At the time of death we should remember Krishna. And suddenly when the time of death comes, we can only recall, I have to remember something. But what? What is it? I have to urgently remember something. And she couldn't. And she was crying because she couldn't remember, and it was so important. That she knew. It's crucial. It's crucial that I remember something. But what it was, I don't know. I don't remember. And there came a nurse, and she saw her crying. And she had neck beads around her neck, so the nurse knew she's a Hare Krishna devotee. And it was a Muslim lady. And she said to her, "Why are you crying? Just chant Hare Krishna." The Muslim lady said, "Just chant Hare Krishna." And said, "Lady, oh, that was it. What, I'm supposed to remember her." And immediately she started, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. And she actually hasn't left her body. She turned the corner by Krishna's grace. She knew she had to chant Hare Krishna. Oh, what a relief that was for her. Later on, when being discharged from the hospital, she met that nurse again. And she said, "What made you tell me to chant Hare Krishna? You saved me. You saved my life, basically, because I couldn't remember what to remember." And the nurse said, "Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I don't remember." I have said to you. So Krishna works in miraculous ways. That was not something the nurse, a Muslim lady, Krishna worked through her. And later on she didn't recall. She said that even. But we should not think Krishna will come to our rescue. We should not take it for granted. Krishna might come to our rescue or he might not. Or the other devotee, young, Gurukuli, they were going to the Ganga in Mayapur. And he got carried away by the current. And he was just about to drown. He was underwater. Underwater, couldn't get any air. And later on, he was saved somehow. And they asked him, "So what did you think when you were about to drown?" And he was so embarrassed. And they pushed on, "Not tell us. This is very important. We need to know. What came in your mind at the time of dying?" And he said, "The advert of the fairy liquid from TV, that came to his mind. That's very scary. That's very scary." The fairy liquid advert, TV advert, came to his mind at the crucial time when he was about to leave his body. So we cannot take for granted we will remember Krishna at the time of death. Death can come in so many different ways. There was a film many, many years ago, still available perhaps, The 100 Faces of Death. It was a compilation, it was a video or film of how people died. 100 examples of people dying. And it was horrible to watch. I don't think I watched a little bit and then I had enough. Someone falling over the boat and being eaten by a crocodile and screaming and all of that. Someone else electrocuted on the electrical chair. Someone else being set on fire and screaming, and so many different types of death. Car accident. Full frontal, in one flash. Bam, soul jolted out of the body. So we don't know. It's not necessarily, although that would be nice, if we are prepared, like Parikshit Maharaj. We can prepare ourselves. We have a terminal illness, for instance. Of course, that has its drawbacks as well, but At least we can prepare ourselves. Gradually, gradually, gradually. We know we have to leave this body. It may not 7 days, it may be a month or two, terminally ill, terminal cancer, for instance. Very, very widespread. So we can prepare ourselves, and we in our bed, perhaps, hopefully surrounded by devotees, chanting Hare Krishna, and having a tape going on non-stop, Srila Prabhupada chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. If we have any relative or friend, we want to do them a favor. If say, devotees or not, just persuade the relatives, put on that tape, that will save that person. Srila Prabhupada chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Or some devotional music as well. Amrita Radhe Mataji, you have the microphone.
Prabhu, I just wanted to add that though we can try that while somebody is passing away, we can play Srila Prabhupada's tape. But if the soul doesn't have enough Sukriti, it doesn't happen. It happened in case of one of our relatives. He was not a devotee, but we were constantly he had cancer, so we were constantly playing Srila Prabhupada's tape. But just when the nurse whom we had hired to take care of him at night switched off the tape, only then the soul passed away. So I just wanted to add that. It's also,
Beautiful.
yeah.
Yes, very wonderful. By the way, and I think we all know that, the sense is shutting down when we come closer to the time of death. Our taste disappears, our smell disappears, we cannot smell anymore, we cannot taste our food nicely anymore. We have no impetus for eating, even our appetite disappears. Our sight, everything becomes blurry, eventually we'll be blind, we will not see anything anymore. But the last sense, which stays up till the very time of death, is our hearing. So hearing is very important. Outside us, they may think that person is, he cannot speak certainly, he cannot smell, he cannot see, he cannot hear. No, the hearing is staying because the hearing is such an important sense. It's staying till the moment of leaving this body. Even people in coma, one may think they cannot perceive anything. They can hear. People in coma can hear. And as we know from the description of Brihad in the womb of his mother, the wife of Hiranyakashipu, he heard the Bhagavatam from Narada Muni. He could hear. Therefore, from the 7 month onwards, the consciousness is, the child has woken up. The consciousness is fully developed. So we read Srimad Bhagavatam to the child regularly in the womb, and the child with benefit. Prahlad benefited so much, he got all the instructions from Narada Muni, from the Bhagavatam. And when he was in the Gurukul with Sandana Marga, his political, demoniac teachers under Gurukul, under Hiranyakashipu, then he tried to induce the other children to chant Hare Krishna, to take to spiritual, to take to worshipping Vishnu. And he tried to convince them, because that is what he heard in the womb. So very important, the hearing. So back to that sentence where Srila Prabhupada is saying, in Kali Yuga, the present age, people in general are short-lived, slow in spiritual realization, and are always disturbed by various anxieties. People are full of anxieties. Where do the anxieties coming from? Nobody has peace. And there is a story, I have told that before, you may remember or not, that your Guru Maharaj, Radharani Swami, he had an engagement in the evening. It was some hotter country, don't know which country. So he had finished, engagement has finished, he has been speaking, and I had honored some prasadam, sounded like a house program. So it was a beautiful evening, not too hot, warm but not too hot, and his car hasn't arrived yet. He was supposed to be picked up. So the devotees were late, somehow. So he walked on the road where the car is supposed to come, and thought, I'll just walk a bit and Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. He beat back and chanting in his sannyas robes, of course. And then there came a big limousine, big limousine, black big limousine, with a chauffeur and some middle-aged, rather youngish gentleman in the back, all on his own, in suit and tie and all of that. And that wasn't his car where he's supposed to be picked up. That was some important person. And that gentleman asked the driver to stop, the chauffeur, stop. And he put down the window and he said to Radharani Swami, shall I give you a lift? You're walking here, you are sadhu. I can see that. And you're looking so peaceful. Shall I give you a lift? And then he said, I want to become like you. I'm full of anxiety, that businessman said. I have so many factories. I have so much money. I don't know what to do. I can get anything in this world with all that money I have. Any woman I want, anything I can have. But I'm not peaceful in my mind. And you looking like you have nothing. You have your bead bag and you have your robes and nothing. And you're looking so peaceful. I want to become peaceful like you. Then Radharani Swami told him, are you sure you want to swap roles with me? Yes, the gentleman said. So this story just proves the anxiety. People are full of anxiety on all levels. We may have the most money in the world. We may be Elon Musk or anyone else of the billionaires in this world. But we are full of anxiety. That's a mind, always disturbed by various anxieties. Anxiety, of course, we know means we're looking into the future. If we are attached to the past, then it will be lamentation. We're always lamenting. Oh, if I had done this and that, then I would be in a better situation now. Lamentation means the mind is dwelling in the past. And anxiety means the mind is dwelling in the future. What if this happened, that happened? Are full of anxiety. So we are advised to live in the present, because the past is already gone. That's not real. It's gone. And the future has not arrived. Which future it will be, who knows? So the future is not real and the past is not real. The only thing which is really real is the present. So in the present we can chant Hare Krishna. And all anxieties will disappear. All anxieties. Truly chant Hare Krishna. Not both. Chant Hare Krishna and keep looking in the past and in the future. No. Just truly, that's what Krishna says, Sarva Dhamma Parityaja, surrender unto me. If we surrender unto Krishna, we'll chant Hare Krishna. in the here and now, and not dwelling on the past, not dwelling on the future, free from anxiety and lamentation. Then we can really focus our mind on pleasing Krishna. Then Srila Prabhupada says, the best means of spiritual realization is chanting the holy name of the Lord. The best means, that's exactly what it means, the best. There are other ways of spiritual realizations and trying to remember Krishna, but the best means, Srila Prabhupada wouldn't have written, it's the best, because it is the best. The easiest, the best means is chanting Hare Krishna. And we should, that verse, Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama Eva Kevalam, it should be etched in our heart. In this age of quarrel, in hypocrisy, the only means for deliverance is chanting the holy name of the Lord. The only means. There may be many other means, but this is the only means in this present age of quarrel. And we know, Kali Yuga means quarrel. People quarreling. Over trivial things, a quarrel happens. And on a world stage, nations quarrel with nations. There's quarrel everywhere. Friends quarrel, so-called friends. Husband and wife quarrel. Children quarrel amongst each other. Communities quarrel. Nations quarrel. There is quarrel everywhere. Signs of progressing Kali Yuga. And the other symptom is hypocrisy. So much hypocrisy. Where we find any leader of society, any political leader, who actually acts according to what he speaks. 99.9999 they don't. They're speaking nicely to gain votes and they're acting completely different. They're writing manifestos, and once they're in power, they're changing manifestos. I didn't mean that. Circumstances have changed, therefore we can break our pledges in our manifesto. That's going on. That's all hypocrisy. Srila Prabhupada says devotees are not duplicitous. They are not diplomatic. Devotees speak the truth. Of course, in a palatable way. In a palatable way. But not duplicitous. Not diplomatic behavior. That's not the characteristic of a devotee. That's a politicians. They're duplicitous. They're diplomatic. So the truths need to be told. So, there is no other way in this Kali Yuga than chanting the holy name of the Lord. Why? The question is sometimes asked, a deerskin. Why a deerskin? Radharani Mataji or Vijay. Why should the yogi sit on a deerskin?
Prabhu, there was something about ants that you said, that ants don't attack
Ants?
deerskin. Yeah, yes. I think you only told once.
Not actually ants, but snakes.
Oh, yeah. Sorry,
Yes,
snakes.
snakes. Here, our Purichan Prabhu, he explains a little bit. The deerskin, yogis sit on either a skin of a tiger, of course, naturally died, a deer dies in the forest and we can take the skin. Either a skin of a tiger or a skin of a deer. Why? Because they are in a secluded place and these skins have some chemical effect. If you sit on a deer skin, then the reptiles and snakes won't disturb you. That's actually from a lecture of Srila Prabhupada in 1966 in New York City. So that's the reason, a deer skin. Not too raised, not too high, not too low. And chaila means a cotton sitting place, so a cotton cloth over the deer skin. Vijay.
Yeah, when you mentioned tiger skin, as Lord Shiva gets tiger skin, he wears it.
Just
Is that
saying. Just
yes?
saying.
Or does he? Because he meditates as well, Lord
Yes.
Shiva. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
now we know. We know
Yeah.
the significance of a tiger skin or a deer skin. Actually, I have a deer skin. Long time ago, I was sitting on the deer skin when I did the puja and like that. But then it started shedding hairs coming out, and I thought that's not a very nice thing to do. Just sit on kushakras. Radharani.
Prabhu, I think Lord Shiva meditates on Lord Sankarshan, isn't it? He's a devotee of Sankarshan, as per Bhagavatam.
Say it again, he meditates on?
Lord Sankarshan, meaning
Yes.
Baldev or Anantashesh.
Yes. It is said Lord Shiva has his mala. What's he chanting? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Because Lord Shiva is known as Vaishnavanam Yata Shambhu. Means he is the best of Vaishnavas. Of course, we respect all the devas. And we respect certainly Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, and so on. But we don't worship Lord Shiva for material benefit. That we don't do. People do that. Shaivites. So worship Lord Shiva for material benefit. Krishna can give material benefit. If we really want to, we are really after material benefit, akamo sarva kamo va. Then we should, whatever situation we're in, we're desiring liberation, or whatever we're desiring, we should approach Krishna, not Lord Shiva for material benefits. But because Lord Shiva is Vaishnavanam Yata Shambhu, he's the best of Vaishnavas, we can worship Lord Shiva as the best of Vaishnavas, as a Vaishnava. In that mood, we can ask Lord Shiva, please help me to become Krishna conscious. That is allowed. Amritarati.
Prabhu, actually, some Shaivites worship Lord Shiva for liberation, meaning they want to become Shiva themselves.
To become
That is
Shiva.
themselves, yes.
Nobody can become Shiva, and nobody can become
Shiva
Krishna.
is a state, it's a position.
Like in India, at least, there are many so-called Shaivites
Yeah.
who want liberation, and they feel that once they get liberated, they will become Shiva themselves. They will merge in Shiva, possibly, and become Shiva themselves.
That sounds very strange to me. Ritu and Prabhu, what do you say?
About Shiva.
Sorry, Prabhu, I was just doing some DIY work along with it. So, Prabhuji, what I saw is, I heard is that sometimes many Shaivites in India, they want to become Shiva because they don't think that Shiva is just like they are Mayavadis. They don't think that they are. Shiva is a personality. They think Shiva is a position, or like absolute truth. Just like shapeless, formless. So they want to be like that. They don't think that Shiva is also a personality. So that's why they want to similar to merging to the Brahma like that.
Right.
That's what their mood is, or idea is.
Lord Brahma is certainly a position that we know. A position reserved for the most pious living entity in the entire universe. Even Gop Kumar. Here we go again. Rituan, have you also received that Brihad Bhagavatamrita, or I have to send it to you separately?
No, it's fine, Prabhuji. The ebook is with Amrita Radhe, so yeah, I can.
But you should have it on your phone, right?
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah.
So I will send it to you as well, so you can click
Okay,
it
that's fine. Yeah, that would be good.
independently. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, Gop
Thank you.
Kumar, before he came to cross the Viracha river, the demarcation between the material and spiritual world, he came to Satyaloka, Brahmaloka. And Lord Brahma had to leave for some reason, so there was no Lord Brahma. How can that be? Very important, like a kingdom without a king. Immediately they will search for a king. So Lord Brahma's position was vacant. So they looked for someone who has the qualifications and the qualities of being a Lord Brahma. And Gop Kumar was in Satyaloka, and they decided this person is qualified to take the position of Lord Brahma. And Gop Kumar took the position of Lord Brahma. Just see. It's not, sometimes we hear when a living entity comes, moves up like Gop Kumar to higher spiritual realizations, they may go to Satyaloka, Brahmaloka, and they may take the position of Lord Brahma. So, but he was not satisfied, even having the position of Lord Brahma. It's a difficult job to do, and the demons disturbing, and then they have to get, he has to go on the shores of the Milk Ocean, and then praying to Lord Vishnu, cannot even see Lord Vishnu, can only hear the instructions, chanting the Purusha Shukta, Sahasra Shirsha Purusha, Sahasraksha Sahasrapat, like that. And then they get instructions. Yes, I will come and descend and help. Lord Vishnu is always on the side of the demigods. By the way, which I read today, I heard that before, but today in Brihad Bhagavatamrita, I read very clearly. There are expansions of the Lord, like Drona and Vitappa in Vaikuntha. So Nanda, for instance, Nanda Maharaj, he has an expansion in Vaikuntha. And he has further an expansion in Bauma Vrindavan, when Krishna performs his lila in Gokula, Vrindavan. So these personalities in Vaikuntha or in the Bauma Vrindavan, these are expansions of the original personalities in Goloka. And it was explained by Sanatana Goswami, even the Devas are also expansions from personalities in Goloka. So, very interesting. Everything points to Goloka, and we should hear much more about Goloka. And once you, Rituan Amrita Radhamadaji, Vijay, once you have gone through all the Brahma Samhita, yes, also. So Brihad Bhagavatamrita, I'll send you something more to read. By the way, Ritu and Prabhu, you're already here. That has been burning on my mind. Have you started Circle of Friends? Don't tell me you haven't touched it.
No, Prabhu. Yes, I have started reading. I am not able to read regularly, but I'm reading like.
What did you start with?
I started with the beginning, like from the preface introduction. I'm into the circumference, the first, section. Circumference of the circle.
From beginning, yes.
Yeah.
The book is not called without any reason Circle of Friends. Because there are many circles. And from starting from the outer circle, it goes inside. more and more in the inner circle and most inner circle, and then it becomes very confidential. But if you find it a little bit technical, perhaps, certain parts, and a little bit dry, then jump, I told you that before, jump to the Kaliya pastime. Read the entire Kaliya pastime and go back to the beginning. Because that is extraordinary. There is much more information there in that Kaliya pastime than we have from Krishna book. Much more detail. Absolutely stunning what is going on there. All these relationships, what's happening to the Brajbasis and what's their thinking and what's their feeling. The feelings of the Brajbasis is so important. That is their bhava. Once we are interested in the feelings, that's important. We want to understand the feelings of this. That's a certain rasa, maybe in Sakya or Madhurya or whichever, or Vatsalya. We want to, what is Madhya Yashoda feeling? Not only understanding intellectually, we want to actually have those feelings. And then we come to a stage where we follow a Brijbasi. And Srila Prabhupada explains again and again and again, if someone wants to reach Goloka, the highest planet in the spiritual sky, then we have to follow a Brajbasi. And then one devotee asked Srila Prabhupada, which Brajbasi should we follow? And remember that? Srila Prabhupada is saying, I am that Brajbasi. How beautifully said. I am such Brajbasi. So if we follow Srila Prabhupada, we already follow Brajbasi, but still, we can also follow those residents, follow Lalita, we become our group leader, Vishaka, follow certain gopis or gopas, Supalsaka, Sridham, and many others. So they will become our gurus in a sense, because we emulate, we want to emulate. I first of all experience, understand and emulate their mood. What is their mood in serving Krishna? Every Saka, every gopi has a particular individual mood. Very important. And today I was reading in Brihad Bhagavatamrita. I read all afternoon. I couldn't stop. Then I had to stop. Oh, we have program tonight. I would have liked to carry on. That Krishna, he related to every gopi very individual. Even when he, at one point, he gave the gopis, when they were leaving, he gave them pan, which he chewed himself. But he related to every gopi in a very individual way. And by the way, Gop Kumar, you may have heard that or not, he understands in Goloka, he is what's his name again in Goloka?
Swarup.
Sarup.
Yes.
Which is quite linguistically connected to Svarup, spiritual form, because that is his Svarup. That's his Svarup. And his name in Goloka is Sarup. So that's very significant. And by the way, he is a brother, I think brother, of Srimati Radharani. So he's a close family member. Close family member. Therefore, when Krishna and Balaram had lunch, after meeting Sarup, who was so dear to Krishna, then Nanda Maharaj was sitting in the dining hall. To his right was Balaram, to his left was Krishna, and they wanted Sarup to sit just opposite. And he fed them. Krishna fed Sarup. Some preparation. There is this beautiful stories with manohara laddus. You may have heard that. Manohara laddus. The gopis had prepared so many preparations and they brought them in, and Radharani has also, she has prepared manohara laddus. I don't know what manohara laddus is. I know what laddus are, so that's a special kind of laddus. And of course the gopis looked from the distance or from the kitchen. Is Krishna enjoying my offering, my prasadam? So when Radharani got that plate ready with manohara laddus, and it was brought into the dining room and put in front of Krishna. So she watched in secret what will Krishna's reaction be. But Krishna, he understood Radharani was watching. So he was biting in that manohara laddu and he made a face like, oh, so bitter. And Radharani was in shock. Oh no! And Radharani's competitor group of gopis, they were overjoyed. Oh! And then Krishna took his laddus, which he pretended that tasting bitter, and Radharani was in shock. And he put that laddus to Sarup on his plate. And Sarup ate one after the other, and then Radharani understood, oh, Krishna is just joking. And Mother Yashoda was also very upset. What has she done? What has Radharani done? Give him my lala, some bitter laddus. So all that is all found in Brihad Bhagavatamrita. You should read it. And here we stop. Okay, thank you very much for being here. Lord has eaten his prasadam, and now the devotees will take the prasadam. Amrita Radhe Mataji, thank you. Ritwan Prabhu Jayanti Pai, Vashana Mataji, Vijay. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
See you
Hare
on
Krishna.
Wednesday. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.